Okay, I just started recording. So I just want to welcome all of you guys tonight. I'm super excited about this call. Our team has got absolutely amazing momentum this month. It is just actually the last couple months. It's just been, y'all have just been blowing my mind. We've got a lot of new people and a lot of new people that are wanting to sell. And so I just thought this call was really, really important so that even if you're brand new or if you are, getting close to gold or that's your goal to get to gold, or even senior gold, because this is a lot of tips that you can use for really any rank. But I just thought it was important to go over some of the steps and some of the things that that I've learned and what I did to grow my business, and so that we can just kind of duplicate that down, and so that everybody's on the same page. Because really, all the steps are laid out for y'all. We don't ever have to recreate the wheel. Pretty much everything you need to know is already laid out. So we're just going to go over those steps. So I'm going to share my screen here with y'all. Okay. Well. Okay. Y'all don't make fun of my slides. That's not like my forte. My husband had to help me a little bit, but we do have slides. They're not fancy or anything. But this tonight, we're just going to do some practical steps to go gold. Okay. First of all, what does gold look like? To be a gold ambassador, you're going to need 20 or more level 1 through 5 ambassadors. They do not have to be. You don't have to personally recruit all of them. We talk about the power of 3 all the time, and that's basically if you sign, one person, or if you sign, say I sign Pat, if I sign Pat, and then I sign 2 other people, so that makes me silver. So I've got 3 ambassadors under me, and then ideally we would love for all 3 of those ambassadors to sign 3 ambassadors, and then those 3 ambassadors to sign 3 ambassadors. So you can see how it can grow very, very quickly. I think that's why it's important to really seek out business builders or people that are really interested in growing the business, because it can grow really, really fast. Obviously, all the people on your team are not going to join for the business, but it's really important to, when you're reaching out and trying to make your list of 100 and your chicken list, we call it, which is, those top 10 people that you really, really, really want on your team. It's important to pick people that have, influences in the community. They're, really funny on Facebook, or they just have a lot of followers and just a lot of connections. Those are the kind of people that you want to choose to be on your team, and, reach out to them, because I promise you, if you don't, somebody else is going to. I'm going to take my jacket off real quick. Okay, so you need 20 or more level 1 through 5 ambassadors. And once you do that, you'll get a $250 bonus. So that is pretty cool. I know you might be sitting here thinking 20 people, oh my gosh, I can't even get 3. I'm going to go over some things to kind of help you get there. And I promise y'all, I thought the same thing. And I guarantee you, every gold ambassador on my team, and we have 9, I think now, gold ambassadors, I guarantee you, every one of them thought the same thing. But it is actually a lot easier than you think. It is, I would say it is one of the hardest ranks to reach, because sometimes you're doing it by yourself. Sometimes at that point you don't necessarily have other people selling, but you could. And I think anybody that can make gold, they can go diamond. I mean, I truly believe that, because I've seen it happen so many times. Just people, once they get past gold, you really have people that are at least 1 or 2 at that point. They're going to be sharing, and it just starts going a lot quicker. And it just can be like a snowball. You just grow and grow and grow. So once you get those 20 ambassadors and you get the $250 bonus, we have something called pay points. And each of those pay points are worth about $3 each. So you need 100 pay points to go gold. And so for each of those pay points, it's about $3. So an average monthly income for a gold ambassador is about $1,000. And y'all, that's a lot of money. I don't know about you, but I never dreamed when I first started doing this that I could make an extra $1,000 a month to help our family. So that's nothing to sneeze at. And if you have higher PV, obviously that could be higher or lower, just depends. But that's about the average for a gold ambassador. Okay. We want to talk about the 3 stages of ambassadors. And okay, you're going to have the majority of your team is most likely going to be wholesale customers, unless you're really, really lucky and everybody you sign, wants to work the business. But for the most part, most people are going to join for the wholesale prices. Just, they just want to get the products, the cheapest price, just like they're joining Costco or something. And that's totally okay. That's how we grow our business. But you're also going to have joggers. And what I mean by joggers is that's somebody that, maybe they just want to get their products paid for. They just have a couple customers. Maybe they post every now and then. And they're okay with that. And so, you should be okay with that too, because we're going to have people like that. Their desire maybe not yet to really run with it, but maybe they'll get there. And then we want to talk about how to recognize runners. And when I say runners, I mean people that are really working the business. They are on all the team calls. They're active on the team pages. They're watching videos. They're getting on trainings like this. Like, I would consider you guys runners, because you're taking the time out of your evening when you could be, watching Netflix or something. You're getting on a training to learn more. And so that's how you're going to recognize those people. Sometimes I think in the beginning we get so excited and we really want people to sell and we just push it. I don't recommend doing that. I feel like, it's definitely, we definitely want to present the opportunity to everybody and let them know what's possible, but we don't want to be pushed. If somebody is really, is really going to run with this business, you're going to know it. They're going to be asking you questions, or they may not. But I do have some people, and I think I was like this. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I just did it. I just started out from the get-go. Everything that Julia posted, she's my upline, and every single thing that she posted, I was on it. I was taking notes. I was watching every single video. I called in on calls as much as I possibly could. But I didn't ask her a lot. So, but I was adding a ton of ambassadors. So she knew from that I was, that I was serious. So I think it's just important to be able to recognize what level your new ambassadors are. And one way you can do that is by getting them on a 3-way call. Let's see. Okay. So something that we talk about all the time is, having a power hour. Okay, a lot of you guys work full-time. Some of you don't. But if you don't work full-time, trust me, you're busy. Busy is different to everybody. One person, like I only have one daughter at home, and she goes to school and has cheer practice, but I still feel like I'm busy, so I still have to take the time out. Some days I just set my timer. I turn off my chat groups on Facebook, and I just get busy. I set a timer for an hour. And some days, at the rank I am now, sometimes I work more than an hour. Some days I do, some days I don't. But it's important to make sure that you're committing to that. You're setting your hour. These are some of the things that you can do in that hour. Okay. To posting 2 to 3 times a day without skipping, y'all. I cannot stress how important this is. I say especially in the beginning, still to this day, I still post several times a day about Plexus. And my personal life, I think it's super important that you go to your personal page every day and you make sure that it's not just all Plexus. You've got to make sure that those personal posts are still there. I know this is what, we talk about these things when y'all first start, but I guarantee you, as a senior Ruby close to Emerald, I still get on my phone or on the computer every day, and I go to my personal page and I just look and see what's on there, because I get tagged in a lot of things too. So you want to keep your friends engaged and make sure that it's a balance. We want them to be attracted to us and not just Plexus. Plexus is just kind of a part of our life that we want them to, they're like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. She's doing that. But, they're really interested in my family or whatever. There's got to be a balance. And of course, your 531, this is something we talk about every day. I don't have it on this slide, but I know that most of you probably, there's a couple of you that are brand new on here, but have seen the daily action stacks that I have. They're in the, y'all can write that down if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's called Daily Action Stack, and it's in the file section on my team page. And you can print these out. I don't think I have one right here. I don't. But it's just a sheet of paper, and it's got basically a list of the things that you need to do every day as an ambassador. It's reaching out to 5 new people a day, following up with 3. It's got who you train on there. Believe it or not, wishing people happy birthday every day. That's one of the first things I do when I wake up. I go to the Facebook gives you the list of whose birthday it is. I go and I wish every single one of those people a happy birthday. That's important to keep people in your newsfeed. And just, just because, you want to show that you care about people, you're not just trying to sell something to them, because I really do. I love people, and I want to, that's just one of the things that you can do. And if if you feel comfortable doing it, you could private message them on their birthday as well. Okay. And so a lot of times, we're going to have times that are really busy, and we got people messaging us, we're messaging people. Like springtime, this is one of those busy times in Plexus. Okay, but y'all, there are going to be times that are slow. That's just part of this business, and I want y'all to just know that and not get discouraged if it happens or when it happens. There will be. One week could be you sign 3 ambassadors, and the next week, you can hear a pin drop on your page. That's just life. That does not mean people are sick of you. That's just how it is. So during those slow times, I want you to make sure that you get organized. That's a great time to organize your files, to organize who your list of 100 people who you're going to reach out to. I'll show y'all this. Some of you have seen it and some of you haven't. This is just a little file box that I have, and it's my prospect list. And it's just got, the names of everybody that I have ever reached out to in here. And of course it's got the, 26 letters in the alphabet. So, and there's roughly 30 days in a month. So I could just take, on the first day of the month, I could take all the A's and follow up with them. On the second day of the month, take all the B's, and so on. And that's just one way. You don't have to do it like this, but just find something that works. So in the beginning, you can remember, you'll just have a few messages in Messenger, and you can kind of remember who you reached out to, or who reached out to you, or who liked and commented on your post. But I guarantee you, when it starts, getting bigger and you're getting closer to gold, you're going to forget. There's no way that you're going to be able to remember all those messages. So you've got to find a way. Some people are Excel, spreadsheet people. I'm not really. I need something that I can handwrite notes on. And another thing, if you don't have Facebook Messenger on your phone, I need you to download that like tonight. That's really important, y'all. People, that's how they're going to get in touch with you. If you're posting on Facebook, they're not just going to text you, because a lot of times they don't know your phone number. And a lot of people are like, I don't want all these messages on my phone. Okay, I understand that, but you need to be able to get back with people as soon as possible. So, if they message you this morning and you don't message them back until tomorrow morning because you didn't see the message, they've already spent their money at the mall. They just forgot about it. It's not important to them anymore. So if you can get back to them, I don't mean you have to put down dinner with your family and answer messages, but just try to get back to them, as soon as you can, at the very least by the end of the day. You really should go through your messages a couple of times a day. And I realize some of you work and you can't do that, but just definitely download Messenger on your phone. I'm actually kind of shocked at the number of people that don't have it. And that's okay. It's a personal choice, but I just recommend having it on your phone. And the reason I say that, I probably wouldn't have even thought about it, but I was at a training, Emerald Ambassador Scott Pankey. I don't know if y'all have heard of him. He's got the really famous Uptown Funk video. He was here a couple months back, and he asked a whole room full of ambassadors if they had Messenger on their phone, and half the room raised their hand and said they didn't. And I was like, what? How do you even do Plexus without Messenger? So anyway, that's just a little tip. Okay. Another thing is, you want to teach your audience, you want to teach them about the products. And I always say, treat them like a 5th grade class. And a lot of you are teachers, so y'all don't have a problem with that. But a lot of us that aren't teachers, or we've never, been in any kind of leadership position, sometimes we have to learn, how to do this. You don't want to constantly be an ad with a graphic on your personal page. You want to teach people what the products can do. You want to teach them about gut health. Some people don't have any idea that gut health can be, you know, connected to like depression. And of course we can't say the word depression, but you can say, you know, bad mood or down and out, or, you know, you can use a lot of descriptive words to describe it. So you just need to make sure that you're educating your audience and treating them like they have no idea about any of this stuff. Because y'all, there's a lot of people that really, really don't. I mean, their idea of eating healthy is like getting a small fry and a, you know, a small burger at McDonald's. So we need to really educate them so that they, when they decide that they want the products, they're going to be, you know, they're going to buy in on this health and wellness thing. And it's not just a fad. You know, they'll really believe in it and build belief in them. I'm going to stop real quick. Does anybody have any questions so far? Let me unmute y'all real fast. It's at, oh, shoot. I already skipped my slides. Sorry, I got to get back. If y'all have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask real fast, okay? Nobody? Okay. Okay. You want to make a plan. Okay. Goals are very, very important, y'all. If you started out and you really, you know, aren't quite sure where you are, if you aren't sure if you just want to make enough to pay for your products, or, you know, you're like, you know what, I'm all in. I'm seeing, you know, I'm seeing results and I want to tell my friends about it. I really want to make a, you know, a good income to help my family. I want you to make a plan, y'all. Write down your goals. Post them, like make it your screensaver on your computer or put it on your refrigerator. You know, write down your goals, because 95% of people that write down goals are much more likely to actually reach those goals. I've written them down, and changed them, and, you know, I've reached some of those goals. So it's really cool to see, to look back a year and a half later. Okay, but you need to have a daily plan, and we call that a daily method of operation. So you don't want to just get up every day and just say, oh, let me think. I don't know, maybe I need to post something sometime today. You know, you need to kind of have in your head and written down what things you're going to do every single day. And that brings us back to that daily action stack sheet. Okay, that daily action stack sheet has got everything that you need to do that day. And I promise you, if you set a timer, in the beginning, it's not going to take you that long, maybe 15 minutes. Be done, y'all. Maybe if you're doing this longer and you are closer to goal, it's going to take you a little bit longer. But stick to that plan and be consistent every single day. You know, maybe take off Sundays. But pretty much everybody's got 15 minutes they can devote to their business. It doesn't matter how much time you devote. It's just pick an amount of time that you're planning to do every day. Y'all get a calendar. And I recommend getting a paper calendar, not some people work, you know, do the ones on their phone. Again, I need to write it down, because I'm always on the days that I'm going to, like Monday through Friday, I write down 5 names on each day of who I'm going to reach out to. And I also write down who I'm going to follow up with on those days. I just think a paper calendar is just the way to go. And stick to doing income producing activities during that time. And when I mean income producing activities, that does not mean like scrolling Facebook and, you know, commenting on all your friends' posts and commenting on, you know, getting on the chat and commenting on everybody that asks for a comment. That's awesome. And our team is amazing. I think that's why we're one of the, you know, leading teams in the whole company right now, is because we do that. But we cannot consider that income producing activities. If you only have 15 minutes a day to devote to your business, you don't need to be doing that. You know, and I don't want to discourage anybody from doing that, because I think it's awesome. And that's how, you know, that's how we've all been successful. But if you're, you know, working, you got kids, you got a ton of stuff going on, and you just don't have time for that, don't do it. Stick to you're reaching out to 5 people a day. You know, you're following up with 3 people and training 1 person. Because if your goals, you're probably, or if you're getting close to goal, hopefully you've got at least 1 person that's said they want to work in business. Focus on helping them, you know, get information and on three-way calls with them and focus on that. But, stay off the threads unless you need them if you've only got 15 minutes a day. When you get close to goal, you really are becoming a leader, and you really want to teach to do. Somebody's unmuted. But you really want to teach your team how to do this daily method of operation, and setting a timer and having a plan every day. We talk about using Buffer, Every Post, and Hootsuite. Those are posting apps that you can get on your phone. Most of you on here probably already have those, but y'all use them. If you're busy, like I said, everybody's busy. Just take time. Every day, even if I see a post that I like, I put it in my Buffer app, and I schedule it for like 2 months out, just so it's in there. I don't necessarily, I'm not necessarily planning to post it 2 months from now, but it's in there. So if I, have a day that I can't post, I've already got a post saved, and I can just say send now, and it posts. So just, always be collecting posts. That's just a good habit again to get into, so that, on Friday night, you're like, oh, I don't have time. Or you want to spend time with your family, plan that out too, so that you're not on Facebook all the time. Nobody wants to just sit on Facebook all day long. Nobody's got time to do that. A lot of ambassadors, we do obviously spend a lot of time on Facebook, but there's going to be times that you just don't want to, or you got other things to do. So make sure that you're planning ahead. That just will make your week go by so much more smooth. Or take 20 minutes on a Sunday night and plan out, but go ahead and buffer 10 posts for the week, and you're done. And PostCon, if you're closer to gold, you might have your own team page, or you might not. We used to say, if you have, 2 people, then start your own team page. Julie and I have discussed this. We don't necessarily think that that's a good idea anymore, because there are so many team pages. You don't want to overwhelm somebody by adding them, to 5 team pages in the beginning. But you do want to make sure that every single time you add an ambassador, no matter if they are just getting, their products at a cheaper price, you want to make sure you're adding them to team pages. So I kind of got off track here. Make sure you add them to team pages, but you can go and use this website. It's actually an app now since I made this slide. It's an app called PostCron, and you can post to the team pages with that. And it's actually, PostCron, you can post to your team page, your personal page, you can do a customer page. I mean, you can do a whole bunch of different pages. You can use that one. It's a really easy app to use too, so I really like that one. But use these, because if you do have a team page, I want to tell you, if you're going to make a team page, you need to put effort into it. Okay, this is the one thing that your ambassadors are going to see, whether they're selling or whether they're not. Excuse me. I would say post 4 times a day on your team page, and depending on what kind of, if you have people that are selling for the business, or if you've just got wholesale customers, that would kind of depend on what you're posting on that team page. But it's just like showing up to work. If you have a team page and it just sits there idle, y'all, people are going to lose interest, and they are, that people are attracted to action and success. So if you've got, just a few ambassadors, and you're like, oh, I want to start a team page, but I don't have anybody selling, I really would not recommend that in the beginning. I would recommend starting your own chat group. So if you've got, 5, 6, 7, 8 ambassadors, put them all in a chat group, just so that you have a way to communicate with them. But I would wait until you're closer to gold, or if you have several people that are working the business. If you've got several people already working the business, then it's definitely okay to start your own team page. I'm just checking my notes real fast. Okay. When you get closer to goal, like, we've been talking about this, you are definitely a leader, y'all. A lot of us started this and have had, 0 leadership training or experience. I mean, kind of have just a few little things, but nothing like this, nothing. So I've had to train myself. I've read a lot of leadership books. There's this one, the John Maxwell Laws of Leadership. That is a great book. If y'all don't have it, you need to get it. There's another one, Millionaire by Halftime. That's a really good book. Anytime that you can get a network marketing book or a leadership book, get your hands on one, read them, because you can't, I mean, none of us are born to do this, you know, and you can always grow as a leader, and your team's going to grow whenever you're, you know, leading them the right way. Again, if you've got a team page, you've got 8 to 12 ambassadors that are, you know, really active, and you've got some that are selling, then that's okay. I needed to update this slide, actually. Get a team chat group. Duplication. Okay, we've talked about this a lot too, and this is really important. The closer you get to goal, y'all, you've got to make sure that you're duplicating down what you've been taught. Make sure that you're always, you know, I actually have a little checklist that is next, but make sure you send them the product directions every single time. As soon as you see that email, send them directions. And then a couple of days, send them directions again. I always send them twice, because a lot of times they'll, you know, they might read the first one, but then they lose it or they delete the email or whatever. But you've got to make sure that they are equipped to take the products right. And if, you know, just say that ambassador decides to sell, if you go through all these steps with them, guess what? They're going to kind of remember it, and they're going to want to do the same thing for their team. If you don't do anything for them, you just sign them up and slap them on a team page, and then that's it. That's how they're going to treat their team members, because they're not going to know any different. So make sure that you send them the directions, and you also send them the ambassador training files. Okay, even if they are not planning to sell, y'all, it's their privilege as an ambassador to have access to these files. So you can just tell them, say, hey, you know, it's just kind of company policy that we send you these files. You don't have to sell, but I just want you to have access to them. A lot of times they'll just get curious and they'll just look through them. And, you know, sometimes I'm one of those people. Julia sent that all to me, and I had no intentions of selling in the beginning. But she sent that all to me, and I got really excited, and I was like, you know what, I think I can do this. And so I did. Again, add every ambassador to at least one team page. You can add them all the way up to Celeste Gwynn if you want. I would just kind of do that slowly. It depends on the person. If they are all in, they want all the information, go ahead and add them to several pages, y'all. That's totally okay. If, you know, you'll just kind of know, I think. But don't forget to add them. That's just, you can't forget to add them to team pages. Okay, and then follow the new ambassador checklist, which we're going to go over in just a second. And then, okay, if you have a team page, you need to be making videos for your team at least once a week. Okay, they need to see your face at least once a week. They need to know that you're still excited. It doesn't have to be a training. It can just be a little short live video. It can be a training. And if you're like, well, Brandy, I don't have any idea what to train my team on. Okay, you can watch videos that I've done or trainings that I've done or anybody else in our upline or on YouTube, and just take notes and then do your own video. I mean, that's what a lot of people do, and that's totally okay, and that's duplication. That's what we want you to do. So you're training your people right. And in the beginning, you're like, I'm nervous. I don't really want to do a video. Practice. I mean, if you really are that nervous about it, just practice and do a practice training or practice video. But it's really important for your team to see you. Even, you know, especially these people that are close to you, and, you know, they may not know that you have all this knowledge. And so they need to, you know, it just kind of helps them get to know you a little more, feel more comfortable asking you questions. If you've got a chat group, you can even do little videos now in Facebook, like at the, let me find it. And I don't know if you can see this. Probably not. It's not looking. Anyway, in the top right corner of the chat group, there's a little tiny camera, and you can do a little FaceTime. It's like FaceTime right in your chat group, or you can make a little video and you can just send that to your team. So if you don't have a team page, that's a great way to do it right there. Just make a little video in there. Okay, so, and the next thing is our new ambassador checklist. I've had this posted on team pages several times, and I try to send it out pretty often. But you need to save this on your phone and use it every single time you add an ambassador. You know, we've got send them an email with the starter files with the Dropbox. Add and welcome to team pages. I mean, this is, you know, it's kind of redundant, but it's so important, y'all. This is just, there's not really any magic to what we do or nothing new. It's just kind of doing the same things over and over, you know, because every new person that you add, they're brand new. So all this is brand new to them. So you've got to teach them. Add them to the Plexus Journeys page that has all the, you know, it's got tons of testimonies on there. Most of them are not compliant, but it can just help build belief in a new ambassador. They can go on there and say if they've got diabetes, they can research diabetes on that page. Or if they, you know, maybe their mom's got fibromyalgia, they can go on and research that for themselves. And so it just really helps build belief. So, and it's, again, it's a privilege to be able to be added to those things. They're not just a regular customer. They, you know, get all the same things that we get as people that are selling. Okay, get your people on a call within the first couple of days to try to go over their goals. Even if they're not planning to sell, if you can get them on the phone just to kind of go over the directions and just kind of see what their goals are, I think they'll probably, most people are really a lot more apt to stick with it if they've actually talked to you in person, not just through Messenger. I know that's not always possible, but I just, I like to see when people do that because I feel like they can ask a lot more questions and, you know, they can just hear your tone of voice. Number 5, help with their first Facebook post and videos and articles to help them get started. And then, of course, send them directions and stay in contact. And the last part is to remember you are a leader. Your team will duplicate what you do. Be an example. Y'all, I cannot stress this enough. Okay, I've got certain legs that their team leader maybe doesn't do very much. And guess what? That entire leg doesn't do much. But then I've got other teams that follow this to the letter. And their entire team is just like exploding because they're doing these action steps. I didn't really go over number 2. We talked about it, you know, some, but there's some new people on here. When you get a new ambassador, make sure that you send your new ambassador and your 2 uplines a private message and welcome them. You know, you can just tell your 2 uplines, hey, this is my newest ambassador, Susie. We met back in high school, and she's, you know, so excited about getting her products and getting healthy. Or, you know, you can also tell us, you know, she's so excited, she's thinking about doing the business. And that way we kind of know what direction to go with her. I promise we're not going to bombard her with any kind of business stuff if she's not interested in the business. We're just going to welcome her to the team. But those chat groups have opened up so many doors for people that, you know, really start asking questions. The next thing you know, they want to sell. And it's because they realize that these uplines are actually real people. Because y'all, sometimes it's easy. I even do this. I see Celeste Gwynn as like a celebrity, but guess what? She's just a real person that started doing the business just like we did. And so I think a lot of times people can, you know, look at people that you know, have been doing this for a while and they're ranking up as just, oh, somebody, I'll never be able to do that. But if you open up that communication, I think you'll really be surprised at how your team will start growing. And people will be more apt to stick with the products because they have not just you. I'll tell you, I have level 1s that go to Julia all the time about things. That's totally okay with me. Sometimes people just, you know, especially people that you personally know, sometimes they feel more comfortable asking someone they don't really know questions. I don't know why. It's kind of weird, but I mean, that's just how people are. And that goes all the way down. It goes all the way up. That's just life, and I'm totally okay with that. But I want your ambassadors to feel comfortable asking me questions or asking, you know, anybody on this team questions. Something that's not on this checklist, but we do have that Brandy's Runners chat group. If any of y'all aren't on there and you want to be, let your upline know and they can add you. But it's just a chat group for anybody on my team that is working the business. And Kara, I don't have you on there, but I will add you. It's just a great way, a great place to ask questions. And for newbies, I think it is a wonderful place for them to learn, because you can just sit back and, a lot of the questions maybe you thought about asking, but you didn't ask yet. Well, somebody else is asking that same question. And you just learn by watching all those posts. I learn stuff every day. I mean, it's the coolest thing. Or if you've got a post just sitting there that you need somebody to comment on, you can just ask, in that chat group, and I guarantee you somebody is going to comment on your post, because we have an awesome team like that. So, okay. When you're recruiting, this is super important. Make sure that you're always presenting the business or the ambassador option. When you're telling people that there's 3 ways to buy the products, you always say there's for retail, you tell them the price, for preferred customer and what that means, but always present that, they have the option to get wholesale ambassador prices. In the beginning, you may, think, well, I'm not really making any money off ambassadors, but actually you are. For every ambassador that you add, you make about $15 every month that their order goes through. And you also, when they join, you make either $25 or $50, depending on, what size welcome pack they order. If they order a $99 welcome pack, you make $25. So that's like 25%. And then if they do the $199 welcome pack, then you make $50. So that's really, really cool. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. When people join, or whenever you're recruiting people, don't ever just skip over that option because you think, oh, they got plenty of money, or they've, they just would never want to work this business. We have all kinds of reasons in our head why we come up with why we don't want to present the business opportunity to somebody, or the ambassador option. It doesn't necessarily have to be the business opportunity, but definitely the ambassador option to get the cheapest prices. Just make sure that you're always doing that. Okay, and some people, on our team, we have people that have super high PV. Okay, that's great in the beginning, but y'all, once your team grows, you really, we always want to try to get about 500 PV a month. That way you're making 25%. But the rest of them, you want to try to start converting them to ambassadors. People that are buying $100 every month, you want to try to start flipping them to ambassadors. That's going to grow your team. And especially if they've been buying the products for, a month or two, try to convert them, because most people either buy the products as a customer a couple times and then they quit, or they upgrade and they stick with it for the long haul. That's just how it works. So that's just why it's important to always keep recruiting level ones. One way you can flip customers is, go in your back office and look at your preferred customers and, even your retail customers before their order goes through every month, and just send them a quick message and, tell them, that it's cheaper to sign up as an ambassador, and just ask them if they would like to upgrade. It's just very simple. And most people want to save money. I mean, they're going to save, $15 every month. That's a lot, I think. So, okay. When you're first starting out, we post on Facebook, we're being consistent, but y'all, start out big. I've talked about this several times lately, is, have a grand opening. When you're first starting out, which most of you on here probably have been, doing this for a while, really go all out with your first week of posts, and then don't back down. Continue that. Keep that momentum going just forever, because it just only gets bigger. If you start out, really big out of the gate, and then, a week or two, and you're like, well, nobody's really responding to my post, or you've got 15 people on your team, you're really shooting for gold, but nobody's responding to you anymore, and you're just like, I'm just this. I don't think this is for me, y'all. I promise you, keep going. We are going to have ups and downs in this business, but it is so worth it to get to gold. And then, like I said, once you get to gold, you're more than likely going to start having some business builders, and your team's just going to take off, and you're not going to believe the money that you can make doing this. Keep your list of 100 people, keep adding to it all the time. I've got a list. It's always changing, because I'm reaching out to people all the time. So I'm working off my list, and moving on and add more people. Keep a list of who likes your post. I've got an ongoing list of that, and those are going to be my prospects. I'm going to reach out to those people because a lot of times they just may put that one little like, and that's all. They're not ever going to message you or anything. So you got to make sure that you're consistently reaching out to those people. Be a product of the product, y'all. If you've been taking the products for like 6 months, 7, 8 months, and you're just kind of slacking off doing that because you're busy and do other stuff, y'all, people are going to notice. They're going to notice if you're out in public, you're not drinking a pink drink, you're putting on some weight, which, it happens. But we are representing a health and wellness company. Don't post pictures of your hamburger and French fries and, your big gulp or whatever on Facebook. And I don't mean to be so blunt about that, but y'all, I see people doing it all the time. They post pictures of block. It's okay to do that, on occasion, but we don't want to, use that as a crutch. We don't want to use block as a crutch because that is not the intent of that product. It's meant to, to help lower your blood sugar and block carbs and fats, but it's not meant to be a crutch to use to be able to eat whatever you want, junk food, and we don't want people to think that we are promoting that. We're not. Don't be salesy. Don't post graphics every single day, y'all. Be creative. Post your own pictures when possible. I guarantee you people will just start scrolling by your page and not even stopping and read them. If it's not something that really catches your eye, don't post it. If it's just kind of it's a blurry picture, a blurry graphic that you just grab somewhere off Pinterest or something, I really don't recommend using those. Okay. Like I said, we're not salesmen. We're sharing how these products have changed our life. So we want to be sincere and just real. We want to be a real person, not like a TV ad. Okay. And then follow it with all your customers and ambassadors. And that goes without saying. I mean, you've got to find a system that works and continue to do that, especially the closer you get to goal. Because just because you signed up, 18 people, that doesn't mean they're going to be with you forever, y'all. People will fall off, especially if you don't follow up with them. You've got to keep in contact with them. Okay. It's a small slide, but it's huge. Okay. Be positive to your team, even when you don't want to be. Y'all, if you're having a bad day, just say Brandy, Underwood, she's my Ruby ambassador right now. She's not on this call, but just say, I'm having a horrible day. My points aren't where I want them to be. I've had a couple people quit. So I just call up Brandy and I just start complaining to her. That is not good. Even though I consider Randy my friend, you can always complain up. Don't ever complain down. Don't ever complain to your downlines, no matter what you do, y'all. You have to always be there for them, and you always want to remain positive because it can rub off on somebody. Just the smallest thing that you say can be discouraging to them because they're thinking, well, gosh, if she's Senior Ruby and she's all having a bad day and she's discouraged and wants to quit, or she thinks that's stupid, or she hates customer service or whatever it is, then they're going to start thinking that too. And then guess what? They might start telling one of their downlines, and their downline tells their downline. Next thing you know, your whole team is like a bunch of lemons and everybody's just got a bad attitude, and then people are going to quit. So I guarantee you last year when our back office had some issues, I know a lot of you were on here when that happened and some of you weren't, but Plexus started a new back office and it had its share of problems. And it was bad. I'm not going to lie. It was a tough time, but I guarantee you never heard me complaining to my team. I worked my tail off. Sometimes I worked 12-hour days, but I did not complain to my team. You got to be there for them. That's just part of being a leader. And, in a team like this, people look up to you. If you've got even 1 or 2 people, they're going to look up to you and they're going to feed off whatever vibe you're putting out. If you're just always complaining, nobody's ever commenting on my post anymore, or you're talking about another ambassador to one of your ambassadors, y'all don't do that. Do not do that. We just want to have integrity and just really lift your team up all the time. Everybody is going to have a bad day, but we just need to make sure that we're rising above that. If you're having a bad day, look up a video on YouTube and, get encouraged, or talk to your upline and, tell her you're having a bad day, and, help her encourage you, because that's what we're here for. Your team will follow your lead, and that goes without saying in everything you do. If you're not posting regularly, guess what? They're not going to post regularly, because they're going to see you and like, well, it's not really important to her, so I'm just probably not going to, post as much either. If you've got a team page and you're not showing up to work every day on that team page by posting 4 times a day, at least on there, when your downlines get a team page, they're not going to think it's important. They're not going to do it. And last but not least, y'all, everybody's journey is different. Okay. When I first started, I don't know if y'all know Emerald Ambassador Rita Anderson. She is amazing, but she started I think the month or 2 before I did. Y'all, she went Emerald in 9 months. And to begin with, we were kind of on the same track, and I thought, this is great. But she just took off. And I mean, she's been Emerald forever. Like, she's already been in Hawaii, last year. And I could have, seen that and thought, I'm a loser, I can't do this. She's amazing. And why am I not amazing? But you know what? I just used that as encouragement. I thought, wow, she can do that. That means that it's possible for the rest of us to do it. So, and you have to look at, everybody's got a different network. She is a physical therapist. So she was in, with clients every single day, patients that needed these products. So, she was able to build her business like that. But she is amazing. She's an amazing leader. But I've just taken that I've learned from her, and we've become friends, and I ask her questions. So find somebody that you can power partner with, somebody that can be your sounding board. Maybe find a sideline that you can talk to, somebody that's not necessarily in your upline, or somebody that's not necessarily in your downline. So that if you do need to vent to somebody, go ahead. Just make sure that you're not picking somebody, that's on your team, because that it's just not good to do. Let's see. So, once you hit gold, you're going to have probably 20 to 30 people on your team at that point. Y'all, that makes you a leader, and every one of those people on your team are counting on you. Okay. Sometimes I see people, they work so hard to get to gold, and then they're just like, that was hard. I don't want to do, I'm just going to relax now. You can't, y'all, you got to keep that momentum going, so that, because after that, senior gold, senior gold's next. And then once you hit senior gold, then ruby's next. There's no time to slow down, because guess what? If you slow down and you slow that momentum down, you're going to have people dropping off. It's like having a funnel. You're going to have, there's always going to be pouring people in, but there's always going to be a few that are coming out of the bottom. So the longer it takes you to rank up, you're going to have more people falling out the bottom. So you just have to recruit more. So the faster you go is obviously better. That doesn't mean that if you're not going super fast to quit, because at any minute you could sign somebody that is going to just, add 20 people their first month. You just don't know. My team has been steady this whole time, but y'all, this month we've added over 80 ambassadors, and we still have 8-9 days left in the month. That's huge. I don't know if y'all saw Andrea Mitchell, she's like 4 diamonds above Julia. She just posted on our team page tonight that we are one of the leading teams in the entire company. That's huge. So we've got that momentum, and we just need to keep it going. And the way to do that is through duplication, doing the same things over and over every day, even when you don't want to, y'all, even when you're tired, even when, you're having a bad day. Just, use those things we talked about, buffer and plan it ahead. I can't stress that enough. Sunday night, write out all those names that you're going to reach out to, and all those names that you're going to follow up with. Also, you need to make sure that you're treating all of your level 1 through 3s like your level 1s. If they're on your team, they're your ambassadors. So you want to treat them just like you would a level 1. Because, you might have a level 1 that signs somebody up. They're not really working the business. Well, guess what? That level 2 is going to depend on you to help them. So make sure that you're reaching out to them. You can go through that ambassador through your level 1 as well, but just make sure that you're reaching out to them. They're on your team, and it's totally okay to do that. And one more thing. I think this is the last. Yeah, that was the last thing. But on your personal Facebook wall, you really, really have got to stay positive, y'all. I know a lot of people like to get on Facebook and they like to rant or post a lot of political stuff. I know there's a lot of that out there right now, but I would really urge you to stay away from that, because you've got people, everybody's watching you. And, sorry, I'm trying to open this up. Oh, well, I can't get it open right now, but everybody's watching your Facebook page, and people are drawn to positivity. They're not drawn to being negative or, picking sides like that, because you're going to have people from all different parties, all walks of life on your Facebook. So you really need to keep it positive and encouraging. People, like I said, people are drawn to that. I promise you, posting profanity or just inappropriate things, people are going to unfollow you. They're going to unfriend you. And maybe, I don't really think there's anybody on here that does that, but I just like to say it because sometimes I'm shocked when I see what people are posting and they wonder why nobody's, buying from them. If that's been what you've done in the past, I would really encourage you to look at that and try to change it. People just, they just get turned off by those kinds of things. I'm not telling you to not be you, but I'm just telling you what works in a business. When you're bringing, Plexus into your personal Facebook wall, you've got to just make it positive, And I think even if you're not a positive person to begin with, if you really start changing those things and changing the way you look at life and just changing your attitude, even in your post, you'll really start to believe it yourself. It's done wonders for me. I think I was always kind of a positive person, but it's really helped me to look at just so many situations and so many things differently now. I have a mindset of, if I don't like something, there's something I can do to change it. I don't have to just stand by and let things happen anymore. So trying to get the picture here. There y'all are. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions. Okay, y'all can just unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. Anybody? Y'all are so quiet. Oh my gosh. Nobody? No? That was easy. Let me see real quick. I think I forgot.
Hey, Brandy.
Yes.
Can you explain the pay?
The pay?
Right. Like what comes weekly? Don't we get paid like 5 different times? And
yes. Okay. We get paid every Friday. You're going to get paid what they call business building bonuses. And that's if you, if somebody joins your team, like the bonuses I was talking about earlier, anytime you have an ambassador join, if they order a $99 welcome pack, you're going to get $25. If they order a $199 welcome pack, you'll get $50. So if you have 5 people join your team in 1 week, if they all order the $99 welcome pack, that's $125. And it goes down, like if you have a level 2, I think at level 2, it's, y'all help me out, I don't remember exactly how much it is. It's like $12 maybe.
$12.50.
$12.50, yes. You'll even make bonuses on, if your level 1 adds an ambassador, or if you're, and so on. And it kind of goes down from there. I think the next one is like, I don't know, $7, something like that. So those bonuses can really add up. I mean, you might get a couple $100 for just on one Friday, just for business building bonuses. So that really adds up. And then on the 15th of every month, you get your commission from the month before. So for every ambassador that's on your team that's active that month that places a $100 order, you make about $15. So say you have 20 ambassadors and they're all level 1 through 3. So you make $15 on each one. So that's what I think we figured that out. Plus, if you have a little bit of commission from products, that's about $1,000 a month. So that's how does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Also, another thing, when y'all, I don't know if some of y'all are new, for preferred customers, every time a preferred customer order goes through, you get a bonus. And I think for each product, it's a little different on the bonus for each product, but for a triplex combo, it's $20. So every single time that order goes through, you make $20 plus you make commission. So you make, just say you're making 25% commission off that $100. So you'll make $25 for the 25% commission and then a $20 bonus. So that's $45 that you can make off one preferred customer order of $100. So those bonuses and those bonuses you get every single month that order goes through, not just the first month. So those really start to add up as well. So if you have high PV. So yeah. I see somebody. Okay, how do you talk to someone who says that the products are too expensive? There's several posts out there that you can post about. It depends on the person. If you're in a private message with them, you can say something like, I know that the products, cost about $3 a day. I spend way more than that going to like Starbucks or, because most people do, y'all, come on, they spend $3 a day on just, I don't know, a Coke. Cokes are about that much. You buy a soda somewhere. And just kind of talk to them about, things that they could cut out. Like once they start taking triplex, they may not want, that Starbucks anymore, or they may not want to go out to eat as much. So they can definitely cut back on those things. And, just talk to them about their health is really important. And, maybe they can put that as a priority over some of the other things that they're spending their money on. Definitely junk food is huge. You won't need, you just won't need all that junk food anymore. Okay. Another question is sharing testimonials. How effective is that? I love reading them. If you recommend doing that, should they be from only those we personally know or from friends of friends? Okay. Sharing testimonials are huge. You need to be doing those at least, I say at least once a day. You could share one in the morning or at night. Julia calls them 10 o'clock testimonies, post them at 10 o'clock at night because there's a lot of people on Facebook then. And a lot of people by the end of the day, they're not feeling good. And it really kind of hits home, when you see a testimony at the end of the day. It's totally okay to share anybody's testimony as long as it's compliant. We can't post any disease names or any medication names. But there's a lot of compliant testimonies on my team page. You just go to the albums, you just go to the files and then go to albums. And there's probably, 20, 30 testimonies in there that you can share. And if you can, if there's somebody on this team page, friend them, and then you can tag them in the post. And that just lets your friends know that this is not just some random person that I found, on the internet somewhere. It's actually somebody that I know or I know of, and there are friends, y'all, most of us, we really start getting to know each other. If you ever go to an event, take tons of pictures with people, tons of selfies, and get a lot of pictures of people. That way you can actually post pictures of you with this person, and it just makes it more real for your Facebook audience. You can definitely, if you find, say you need a testimony about headaches, we can't say migraine anymore, but you can say headaches. You can find a testimony, if you just search the Facebook in the search bar and you find a testimony on that, it's okay to share that even if you don't know the person. You may not be able to tag on, but it's definitely still okay as long as it's compliant. So, that answer your question? Yeah. Well, hey, Miss Sue, I didn't even know you were on here. Hey, that's cool. Anybody else have any more questions? Okay. No? Okay, well, I want to take a team picture real quick before we get off.
Hey, Brandy.
Yes.
It's Darcy.
Hey, Darcy.
Really quick. So another one of the things that, as far as I've kind of been in and out, getting home and getting settled in, but have been listening in. But one of the huge things for me, which was a huge, which was a huge cost thing. Sorry, I wasn't huge into the drinking Starbucks or a ton of snacks. I myself am type 1 diabetic and have been on a lot of medications. So after starting Triplex, like, it was huge for me that I was able to reduce a lot of my medications. And of course, like, in testimonies and stuff, that's huge to, you know, be able to convey that I worked with my doctors to do that. But things like insulin, cholesterol medications, blood pressure medications, mood medications, that was huge for me. Even though I have insurance, it's still a monthly cost. What's wrong? Want to sit down? So for me, that was one of the things that, like, if someone has those cost objectives, but they aren't somebody that is spending that kind of money, that's another thing that you can say, that what are the health struggles that you're experiencing? And then if they do go to that they have a lot of prescriptions, that they have a lot of health issues, that the Triplex was huge for me for so many different reasons.
Right. And I wasn't on a lot of medications, so sometimes I don't think about that, but that actually, because a lot of people are sick, and they are, and let's face it, so many people are on medications now, and that medications are not cheap. So
yeah, and that's where I remember seeing the post, like, it'll balance out once you cut out coffee, or once you cut out the snacks, and once you cut out this and this. And I was like, well, I don't have that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, my blood pressure was lowering, and my doctors were like, maybe we should pull you off that medication. Or I was having low blood sugars, and they were like, well, let's reduce your insulin. And so I wasn't buying as much insulin as often, or I wasn't. And so that's been a huge change for me.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Darcy.
Yeah.
Does any of my other ambassadors have been doing this for a while? You'll have anything to add?
Hey, it's Robin. I don't have a lot of longevity in this, but I know for me, I wasn't on medications, and I didn't have any health concerns, and I didn't really do a lot of snacking either. So just the addiction to caffeine was rough for me. But I had a major appetite issue. I was still eating as if I was nursing my kid, which I hadn't been nursing her for almost a year. So for me, just being able to eat one serving at a meal instead of 2 or 3 made a big difference. So buying food meant that just making dinner, it would last longer in the fridge for leftovers, or I'd only get one thing out at a restaurant instead of 2 or 3. So just eating out costs were smaller because my appetite was lower. So people that don't have medications or serious snack issues, for me, appetite suppression was important. And it's gotten me back to regular. So I don't know if that helps some people.
When you're on a strict budget like that, y'all, that can really groceries. Saving money on groceries. It kind of sounds funny, but it's true. Our grocery bill is definitely, of course, I don't have 2 boys here anymore, but just the things that we bought before, I would usually come home with armloads of snack food and ice cream and just all kinds of junk. And I call myself healthy, but, or even gluten-free snacks. I called that wasn't even healthy, but we still bought them. I don't even buy that stuff anymore. I don't even want it. There's just none of us do really. So it definitely saves a lot of money. I literally spent hundreds of dollars on that stuff. That was a huge part of our budget. So we've got one more. Okay, anybody else? Brianne? She was on here. She's still on here.
Hey, I'm here. I'm just driving home. I came in right when Robin was talking. What was the question?
Oh, I was just asking if you have anything to add.
To what? I missed that part too.
Cost objections. If people,
Yeah, I always just ask them, like, you know, okay, if you can't do the entire triplex or whatever, like what, you know, which product sounds the best to you, or the one that you need the most, and we can start there, you know, because sometimes when I bring up the business part right away, like when they say they can't, it kind of turns them off completely. So I've gone a different route and just tried to get them to order maybe just one product to test it out, you know?
Right.
And then I can talk to and that kind of opens the door to talk about the business and things like that.
That really does, because sometimes they, you know, they don't see the benefit, but if they get that, you know, they've been constipated for 3 years and they get BioCleanse, all of a sudden they're not constipated anymore. They might be open, you know, and see that that sounds funny, but y'all, it's true. They can really, you know, maybe they're like, oh, maybe this stuff actually would work. Or I've got actually a cousin right now that she wanted nothing to do with, you know, ordering all the products. She said, I just won't take all that. I just know I won't. So she just wanted Slim. She wanted to be able to get off her Diet Coke. So she ordered Slim, and I added her to my customer page. And if y'all don't have a customer page, you don't have to have one. That's kind of something that's unique to our team, and not a lot of teams do it. But it's a really good place to be able to post whatever you want. Non-compliant stuff on there. I probably shouldn't say that, but you can do that on a private page. And so I added her to my private page, and she started watching my post, and next thing you know, she started asking me about the triplex and Mega X, and now she's going to order those products.
I just have a section of pipe coming down the wall. That kind of stay around.
Can really help.
So, Brandy, I have one question then. I have a business page on Facebook, but I made it a public page, and mostly I just post informational stuff on there. And it gets it gets some traffic, but it's public. So most of the people that are seeing it are people referring others to learn about Plexus. So they're all working with other ambassadors, or they are ambassadors. What's going to change if I turn that to a closed or private group? And who do I put on that if I close it off?
Okay, for me, what I do is just anybody that's ever ordered Plexus from me as just a retail or preferred customer, not wholesale customers, because remember, wholesale customers are ambassadors and they only go on team pages. But I add any retail or preferred customer that's ever ordered. I've just went through and got my list in my back office, and when I made the page, I just added them all to it. And, you know, I made a post on there, you know, in the very beginning and it's not like a business page. It's just an actual group, like a team page, but it's just for customers. And I just, you know, kind of told them what I was doing. This was just a place for me to, you know, especially if you're starting it later. You know, if you start at the beginning, it's a little bit easier. But I kind of started it later. I already had a lot of customers. And I just told them, you know, this is a place for me to be able to share things that I couldn't share on my personal wall. And just a kind of place for them to ask questions. Or it's really quiet. You know, there's not a lot of activity on there, but people watch it. You can see how many people saw the post. And every now and then I'll get people message me wanting to order, you know, more products because I, you know, posted something, a testimony. And I've gotten to where I even add people that are prospects that are really kind of skeptical, you know, because I still haven't seen all the non-compliant testimonies, and I post a ton of non-compliant testimonies. So if I've got prospects, I've started adding them to that page, not without asking them. I don't just go add somebody without asking them.
I've invited all of my friends to like my page, but like I said, it's a page. It's like a business page. And so I don't know how to turn it into a group. And if I turn it off of private, there's no way to re-invite people if you've already invited them to like it.
I wouldn't. I would start a different page if you're going to add just for customers, because those are just your friends. You don't want to add everybody, just people that have been your customers before, or they're a brand new customer, or, you know, if you've got a few prospects, you know, you can just kind of start adding them along when people ask questions. I wouldn't go just add a whole bunch of people to it, because most of the time people get turned off if you don't actually talk to them about it and ask. You know, I've been added to like this LuLaRoe or Lula, whatever it's called, leggings page, y'all. One day I would get added to a group and I would remove myself and they'd add me right back. It just went on like for a couple of days. I was like, oh my gosh, if I get added to one more page, because I don't mind being added if people ask me, but you know, I just think it's courtesy to ask people. But I think those pages have been really successful. I know Randy has got one. Who else has got one? I think Melissa Galler's got one. Several people. And some people do it like for, you know, their whole team. I think Tina and Kay and Lisa have one that they add all theirs to. I just have one just for mine because I obviously I've got a big team page and I really didn't feel like I could manage another whole big page like that. But it's just up to you. And you can run specials on that page. You can do videos, you can do live videos and talk to your customers just like you would on a team page. So I think they're a really good idea. It's just kind of a central place to kind of keep in contact with them. That does not replace your private messages and following up with them. But I just think it kind of keeps them engaged and keeps them researching the products and kind of, still building belief in your customers as well, just like we do on our team pages. So, anybody else? No? Okay, well, I think we've been on we went a little bit over, but I'm going to snap a picture real quick. So, everybody say cheese. Okay, thanks for getting on so much, y'all. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stop recording.